there has been progress. I don't want to be a killjoy and say that there hasn't been progress. I think, for instance, the whole Panchayat Raj process, in which 1.5 million women decision makers at the grassroots level have come in, is a huge thing. And it has made such a difference in the way local issues are being handled. Because if you bring women into the political space, what we find is that they actually bring a new dimension to politics. A friend of mine once said that a male politician stops at the door, while a female politician has the strength and access to go into the kitchen and talk to the person who's never spoken to, and that is the woman in the household. India has many best practices, and the additional secretary of health, Mr. Mishra, spoke about them recently. He in fact identified hand washing and institutional delivery as very crucial. And I think to some extent this whole Swachh Bharat and the toilet emphasis on toilets is an important initiative. But the problem we face are the structured inequalities of women. Women, even within the household, we know that she's the last person to get the food. She's the person least consulted when it comes to decision making. So there is a structured disempowerment of women, whether in the family, where she often faces violence and attacks, and where her right to equal property is not recognized, and in the public sphere. We know that even today we don't have equal representation of women in our legislative bodies in Parliament, because the Women's Reservation Bill has been pending since 1997. So what does this tell about us as a society? I think it raises many important questions. And health, which has been highlighted in this process, is a very important part of that empowerment process. Because if you're not healthy, you won't be able to participate as an equal in public spheres, in the house, and so on. Health is so important for that dynamic of change. That's why we are emphasizing on health today. No, that has always been going apace. I mean, we know that Angelina Jolie, for instance, is, advocating on human rights. You see her face everywhere, and in that articulation, she also brings in this whole issue of health, because health is so much a part of people's well-being and in every situation. So to that extent, that iconization of campaigners is happening. And in India, we had the very good instance of Amir Khan taking up malnutrition in a big way. So these are important things, because society looks up to these people, and they have a certain media, frisson. People get excited, when they come in front of them, and when these people start talking about issues that otherwise the mainstream media is not talking about, then it's given an attention that is otherwise not there. So of course, it is very important. I think the new what they call the renewed global strategy, will take these issues on board. But I think the important thing about the renewed global strategy is that they are learning from the experiences of the last 15 years. We know that the MDG process, that the Millennium Development Goal process, started in 1990. And this year will see the reporting year. So we have a 15-year, experience of trying to handle these issues. Now, with the new renewed global strategies, we're going to take it further, another 15 years. And in that process, we're going to learn from what we have and put it into practice. And one of the things that are being highlighted is the vulnerability of newborns. Neonatal deaths are a huge issue. So when we think of children dying, of course, up to age 5 children are dying. but the number of children who are dying that first moment of birth, immediately after birth, is huge. And so now the focus is on that. And that reflects many issues, including the health of the mother. So all these things are interconnected. And that is one of the big learnings of the Millennium Development process, because it has brought education of children onto the same table as it has environment, as it has trade. So it has brought all these things together and knitted it into a process. And now we are going to see, I think, the next phase. And hopefully by 2030, when this whole process comes to an end, we would have seen some very significant change.